Hey everyone, my name's Kate and I'm here at the East Side Freedom Library in St. Paul, Minnesota, where it is currently snowing, if you can believe it, before Thanksgiving. Before Halloween even. And I have 3 books to read to you, like I always do. But before I do, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the books that I choose. So I like to read as many books to you as I can about all different kinds of people and all different kinds of families, from all different kinds of backgrounds, living in all different kinds of places in the world. But I only speak English, and so I can only read you books that were written in English, and I can only read to you books that stories that people decided to make into books. So sometimes I've noticed that that means that if I want to read you a story about a little kid with kinky hair, or if I want to read you a story about a little girl in a hijab, or if I want to read you a story about a kid who isn't the gender that they were assigned at birth, that those stories a lot of times are about kids wondering about that, or sometimes even teasing or bullying kids. And I want you to know that I know that's not the only thing that defines a little kid who wears a hijab, or a little kid with kinky hair, or a little kid who's not the gender they were assigned at birth, or a little kid whose body doesn't work the same way that mine does. But they're just the stories that I find. And I know that those little kids sometimes just play in the dirt, sometimes have fun at the playground, have all kinds of different friends and all different kinds of experiences. And I think it's normal and fine to be all the different ways that you are. And I wish I could find more stories that represented that. All the ways that everybody who's watching this is just normal and fine and a perfect little kid. But I can only read you the stories that some people decide to make into books. So I don't want to give you the impression that I think it's the only thing that happens to kids who don't look like me or aren't like me or maybe are like me, is that they get bullied or teased. And I also, another thing I've noticed in books that I read to you sometimes is that at the end of the book, a little boy with white skin comes over and says, "I think it's great that you have this name. I think it's great that my little brother isn't the gender he was assigned at birth." And I want you to know that you don't need a little kid to stand up for you. And I think you're perfect just the way you are, even if some little boy doesn't decide to stand up for you. So there's a pattern that we see in stories that sometimes comes through in the stories that I have to read to you. And I want you to know that I don't think that they're representative of all the different ways that kids are in the world. And I hope that you will write stories like that so that I can read them to other little kids when you get older, or even now. And I want you to know that I'm trying to write stories too, because I see that there aren't always the stories that I want to tell, because I can only read you stories that have been turned into books, and I can only read you stories that were written in English. So today, the 3 books that I have for you, the first one's called All Because You Matter. It's written by a woman named Tammy Charles. They say that matter is all the things that make up the universe: energy, stars, space. And if that's the case, then you, dear child, matter. Long before you took your place in this world, you were dreamed of, like a knapsack full of wishes carried on the backs of your ancestors as they created empires, pyramids, legacies. Building, inventing, working beneath red-hot suns and cold blue moons, thinking of you years ahead, because to them, you always mattered. On the night you were born, stars sprayed across the sky, each one full of light, hope, love, and all of the moments in your life that would matter. Like your first steps, bare feet planted on cold floor, hobbling, wobbling, toppling, only to stand and try again. Or your first words, spoken almost like a lullaby, notes climbing a ladder to the sky. Mama, papa, mahakita. The first time you opened a book, like a mirror staring back at you, and really saw yourself. Same hair, same skin, same dreams. The words and pictures coming together like sweet jam on toast. Musica blasting through barrios, sun in the blue sky, all because you matter. But in galaxies far away, it may seem that light does not always reach lonely planets, covered moons, stars unseen, as if matter no longer exists. And just like moons hidden in the dark, there will be times when you too question your place in the universe. Like the time you hear a teacher call your name, Hossam, Ozamaka, Yordinis, and the whispers and giggles begin, followed by, "What kind of name is that?" Or the time you'll see a letter, big, bold, red on the page, and you will question if you and your work and your effort matter. Or the time when your pop-pop turns on the news and you see people everywhere take a breath, take a stand, take a knee. And you hear Pop-Pop's whispered prayers as another name is called, Trayvon, Tamir, Philando, and you wonder if they or you will ever matter. But did you know that you do? That you were born from queens, chiefs, legends? Did you know that you are the earth, that strength and power and beauty lie within you? Did you know that you are the sun's rays, calm like ocean waves, tough like montañas, magic like stars in the space? And on the day the universe was created, you were thought of, dreamed of, carried like a knapsack full of wishes as planets, stars, moons took their place, making room for you, your people, their dreams, your future. All because, since the beginning of time, you mattered, they mattered, we matter, and always will. Okay, our next story is called One Girl, and it's written by an author named Andrea Beaty. One girl, one spark, faint and fading in the dark, flicker, 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 glow. Tiny ember burning low. One girl, one spark, glowing, glowing in the dark, burning, burning, burning fire. One girl, heart's desire, brighter, brighter, brightest bright. One girl in the light. One girl, growing strong. One girl glowing shares her song. Brighter, brighter, brightest bright. Filled with wonder, heart takes flight. Words like comets through the night, blazing streaks of blinding light, seeking out the darkest dark to bring one girl one shining spark. So our next book is called What We'll Build by Oliver Jeffers. It's called Our Plans for Our Together Future. What shall we build, you and I? Let's gather all our tools for a start, for putting together and taking apart. Let's build a door where there was none. We'll build a house to be our home. I'll build your future and you'll build mine. We'll build a watch to keep our time. We'll build some love to set aside and build a hole where we can hide. A fortress to keep our enemies out and higher walls for when they shout. But you don't always lose and you don't always win, so we'll build a gate to let them in. We'll build a table to drink our tea and say, I'm sorry, me too, me three. We'll build a tower to watch the sky and other worlds that pass us by. Let's build a tunnel to anywhere. Let's build a road up to the moon. Let's build a comfy place to rest, for we'll be tired soon. Let's build a boat that can't be broken that will not sink or be cracked open. A place to stay when all is lost, to keep the things we love the most. We'll put these favorite things beside the earlier love we set aside. I think that we might want them later when times are hard and needs are greater. But first things first, let's build a fire, for we planned a lot and now we're tired. It'll keep us warm like when we're born. Then we'll say goodnight as all's all right. These are things we'll build, you and I. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a great week.